Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Yoko from Japan. Welcome back to my channel. So, it's midnight right now and my husband is asleep, so I have to tone it down today. I hope you can bear with me. But still, I wanted to make this video for you guys, so here I am. Let's talk about guilt and Japan. So, antifa riots are based on white guilt, and white guilt is actually in Japan as well. Two patterns though. One, white guilt as it is, and two, our Japanese version known as war guilt. By war guilt, we mean that the guilt imprint of the World War II. Basically, it means that during the World War II, the Imperial Japanese Army was evil. Just like in white guilt, white people were evil with the slavery and so on. So let's start with the first pattern, white guilt as it is. It's actually rare to see that nowadays, so that's good. I would say it is an ethno perspective. So if it's used today, then it's the extreme right wings or extreme left wings that use this type of perspective. So this white guilt logic that I see in Japan is something like this. Up to the World War II was the colonization era of the world, and white countries were colonizing the entire world, and thus white countries were evil. That's the logic. However, though, does that whiteness tell you anything? There are still people that are white. And are they colonizing the world? No. So what's the point of accusing the whiteness? In the US, I believe the antifa people are talking about slavery history. So again, there are white people, but are they enslaving black people now? No. So what's the point in bringing up whiteness? As time passed, a lot of elements or backgrounds change, like situation, environment, common sense, values, political thoughts, policies. These things changed, while white people remain white. As I spoke on the agenda of antifa people, what they're trying to achieve is actually not about race. Historically speaking, there can be some emotions left or carried on from the time of the World War II. Like, we were in a war, so of course there are emotions. And I'm pretty sure that it's a mutual thing between Japan and the US. But what's important is the political aspect. Politically in Japan, it's the leftists that are anti-America, which confuses people overseas often. So here's the tactic of leftists in Japan. They are working both on Japan and on the US. Leftists in Japan are imposing white guilt in Japan, saying that white people, by that they mean America, was an evil country during the World War II or even after that. They say that to reduce our trust towards America. And the second thing is they impose the war guilt of Japan in the US. So for that, you can see comfort women statues in the United States. I don't even know if those are still there, but comfort women issue is a historical dispute between Japan and South Korea. And somehow the symbolic statues of that are built in the United States, far, far away, because they want to damage American people's trust towards Japanese people so that they can affect Japan-US alliance. And no wonder it's the New York Times and other super liberal media outlets that massively report on propaganda like that, including not only comfort women issue but also the Nanking massacre. So as I kind of said that already, what do leftists do this for? It's the maneuver for division between Japan and the US, so that leftists can happily hand over Japan to China. That's their agenda. And this maneuver for division is not only between Japan and the US, it's the same for between Japan and South Korea. So in South Korea, those who criticize Japan politically or historically are socially good people. And South Koreans who admire Japan politically or historically are traitors of South Korea, socially bad people in South Korea. And this creates a battle between proud Japanese and proud South Koreans, right? And as a matter of fact, Japanese right-wings and Japanese conservatives, a lot of them actually insist the breakup of diplomatic relations between Japan and South Korea. So it's like ding ding ding, division maneuver complete. By the way, the Japanese mainstream media is often criticized by right-wings or conservatives in Japan and that they are pro-South Korea. So I would say that the position of the Japanese mainstream media it's like the fuel for the division. So as I said many times before, the war guilt in Japan is the same as white guilt in the US. What I mean is that the post-war Japanese society is very much left biased. So inside of our country, what happens is that, as I said, the war guilt means that Imperial Japanese Army was evil. So those of us that apologize for that are recognized as socially good people. And it's the same as white guilt, right? Because in the US with white guilt, you are taught that white people were evil, right? So those of you who apologize for that are recognized as socially good people, right? So it's the same freaking logic. So that's why brainwashed people in America turn into social justice warriors. So I would say this guilt imprint in both of our countries is a maneuver to divide our alliance and to weaken our nations. And this guilt imprint is such a political agitation. And that's the question that those rioters should be asking before jumping onto the fashion of destroying your communities. This agitation, a lot has to do with China because communists in China have been doing this even before the World War II. And not only that, we can tell that China is the country that benefits from all these agitations and all these divisions. I really want Americans to be asking the question, like, which country do you think should be the leader of the world? Because right now it's your country, the United States. However, right now those rioters are vandalizing everything. They're destroying your country, like quite literally. If the US is weakened, who's gonna fill in the spot? The United States has to remain the leader of the world, or else China, led by the Chinese Communist Party, will come in and grab the hegemony and will be conquered by such a dictatorship country. I really hope that my words will reach to those rioters in the US. I really want them to think about the choices, like the two choices that they have. Do you really want the world to fall under CCP? Because the rest of the world don't want to. Destroying and weakening your country doesn't help. Don't be maneuvered. Don't be divided. You are part of the United States. You are united. You will be united. The United States of America. That's what China fear. That's all the evils in the world fear. So I'm really hoping that videos like this help you and your country somehow. So that's all I wanted to say in this video. Before you go, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and also share this video and subscribe to this channel. And if you can, please support me on Patreon. This is what I do and your support would get me going. And also I'm kind of an artist and I draw stuff like this and I sell like a much smaller versions on my Etsy store. So please check that out also. And if you can't financially support me, please follow me on Twitter at Random Yoko and let's interact there. All links are listed below, so check them all out. So thank you guys so much for watching. Until next time, please take care and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!